Yo, it's me, Tremaine McCullough. I'm here to react to this, tell you what's going on with this new MOU that Trump just got finished signing. Let's go. All right, so what I got put up now is the official MOU that has been posted to CNN. As you can see, they do have the full official text over here. So we're going to go through this, see what it says, and, try to break it down. So after doing a quick little look through of it, I just want to make sure that I got my ducks in a row. But honestly, it seems that Iran has made out like a bandit. There's a lot of stuff in this MOU that we're gonna go over that it just seems like it's pretty one-sided as far as who actually profits from it. So number one, the United States of America and the Islamic Republic of Iran and their allies in the current war are signing this MOU to declare the immediate and permanent termination of all military operations on all fronts, including in Lebanon, and undertake from now on not to initiate any war or military operation against each other and to refrain from the threat and use of force against each other and ensuring the territorial integrity and sovereignty of Lebanon. The final deal will confirm the permanent termination of the war on all fronts, including, and get this, in Lebanon and other provisions of this paragraph. So, on this phase, number one, that's good on all sides. We get the war being ended, supposed to end all hostilities towards each other, Iran, Israel, the U.S., and Lebanon. I don't see, with just the wording of this, of anything being wrong with it. However, we still do have that wild card with Israel, who already said that they are not necessarily going to abide by this. So, at any given time, with this including all allies in this current war, there's a real chance that as soon as the final deal is signed, Israel can immediately go in and break this deal. They're not signing it, and as of right now, they don't agree to it. But on its surface, on its face, that's great. It just ends everything. And I could commend them from at least getting this done. All right. So we got number two right here. The United States of America and the Islamic Republic of Iran undertake to respect each other's sovereignty and territorial integrity and to refrain from interfering in each other's internal affairs. Now, on the face, another one that sounds great. That sounds great for both Iran and also sounds great for the United States. However, we cannot have the president of our country saying that if they do not necessarily follow this exactly the way that he wants it to be followed, that he's going to bomb them regardless. And that actually, if you're threatened that you still will bomb this country, that actually does say that you're not respecting their sovereignty nor their territorial integrity. And that also goes back to number one, where, it's supposed to end all hostilities. So, on the face, great. I'm glad for it. Let's just see if this actually holds true at the end of the 60 days. All right. So, we got number three. The United States of America and the Islamic Republic of Iran commit to negotiating and achieving the final deal in a maximum of 60 days, which can be extendable with mutual consent. Now, another one on the face sounds great. It's what we need. It's exactly what we want them to do. We want them to talk. We want them to figure things out and to actually get this, get an actual peace deal signed. Um, but at the end of the day, that also kind of gives you a little bit of a leeway into what's going to happen in the rest of this video, in the rest of this MOU, exactly what is going to happen, say, with whatever happens later on. But you'll see. All right, number four. Immediately upon the signing of this MOU, the United States will begin to remove its naval blockade and any disturbances or impediments against the Islamic Republic of Iran, and will fully end the naval blockade within 30 days. During this period, the traffic of vessels will be in proportion to the numbers of pre-war traffic being restored by the Islamic Republic of Iran. The United States further undertakes to remove its forces from the proximity of the Islamic Republic of Iran within 30 days after the final deal. Now, this part is just, it's overall pretty neutral. It can help out Iran, but it also can help out Americans just because of the fact that, now you kind of get our service members away from this danger. I mean, it's been agreed upon, but we don't know what Iran is going to do, nor do we know what our country is going to do towards Iran. But this is a huge but. We are to remove our forces from the proximity of Iran within 30 days of this final deal. Now, without the deal being fully signed and fully done, this is, like I said, just an MOU. It's just an agreement. We don't have an actual range yet that they're saying that our people will be moved out to. As of right now, we can only insinuate that they're going to be not directly on their along the border. So right now, that's a kind of a neutral one. We actually have to see the final deal first before I can really, make any real arguments for whether it's good or bad. Number 5. Upon the signing of this MOU, the Islamic Republic of Iran will make arrangements using its best efforts for the safe passage of commercial vessels with no charge, only for 60 days, from the Persian Gulf to the Sea of Oman and vice versa. The traffic of commercial vessels will immediately start, and considering the need for removing the technical and military obstacles and demining by the Islamic Republic of Iran will be instated within 30 days. The Islamic Republic of Iran will conduct dialogue with the Sultanate of Oman to define the future administration and maritime services in the Strait of Hormuz, in discussion with other Persian Gulf littoral states in line with the applicable international law and the sovereign rights of coastal states along the Strait of Hormuz. So, with number 5, it's just saying that, they are going to open up the Hormuz Strait. Of course, they had to do the demining. They had to do what they needed to do first to go ahead and make sure that everything is okay as far as, ships being able to actively pass through it. Now, I hate to be petty like this, but as in number 4, they are saying that, it would be returned to pre-war numbers of traffic. That essentially just means that we're kind of going back to the status quo. Nothing in this agreement from 5 so far states anything as far as, like any kind of nuclear armaments or anything of the like. So we're going to kind of see what happens from there. So it is what it is. But from the way that I read this, is that the United States will be over said funds. There's nothing in this particular passage that says anything of the like of the United States is going to use taxpayer funded money to go into this. Anything that happens outside of this MOU that I'm reading, I have no control over that. I'm only giving you the information from this MOU that I have right here in front of me. So, don't kill me for it. All right, number 7, halfway there. Stick with me. I'm trying not to kill you at boredom. But the United States of America undertakes to terminate all types of sanctions against the Islamic Republic of Iran, including the United Nations Security Council resolutions, the IAEA Board of Governors resolutions, and all unilateral U.S. sanctions, primary and secondary, in an agreed upon schedule as part of the final deal. The Islamic Republic of Iran and the United States of America acknowledge the critical importance of the sanctions termination issue above mentioned and express their intentions to immediately address these issues in the negotiations in order to achieve mutual agreement on them. Now, number 7, it just essentially says all sanctions are wiped out. No more sanctions on Iran. This wholeheartedly only helps Iran. It doesn't help the United States in any shape, form, or fashion. I guess they just included this just, to try to get an MOU signed. But at the end of the day, this doesn't benefit the United States in any form or fashion unless you want to take this in as They were kind of forced to actually try to get the MOU signed. All right, number 8. The Islamic Republic of Iran reaffirms that it shall not procure or develop nuclear weapons. The United States of America and the Islamic Republic of Iran have agreed to resolve the disposition of stockpile enriched material pursuant to a mechanism that will be mutually agreed upon in accordance with the schedule mentioned in paragraph 7, with the minimum methodology to be downblended on site under the supervision of the IAEA. The two parties also agreed to discuss the issue of enrichment and other mutually agreed matters related to the Islamic Republic of Iran's nuclear needs, based on a satisfactory framework being agreed upon in the final deal. The final deal will confirm the provisions of this paragraph. The United States of America and the Islamic Republic of Iran acknowledge the critical importance of the nuclear issues above mentioned. They expressed their intention to immediately address these issues in the negotiations to achieve mutual agreement on them. So this one is pretty cut and dry. Iran does affirm that they will not procure nor develop nuclear weapons. However, this entire war was supposed to be fought about Iran not developing nuclear weapons. But there was already a deal during the Trump's first administration that already stated that they would not do any enrichment beyond 3.67 or 3.76% for the uranium. So we already had a deal. They already said they weren't going to do it. And even our own intelligence agencies stated that Iran had no ability to enrich their uranium to a point that it could be made into a nuclear weapon. That was known way prior to the fact that we invaded them. So as far as this is kind of like one of those things that is a moot point. And it also kind of just kicks that issue down the road. Because, they have to make an agreement at maximum 60 days from now, which can still be extended if they like to. So this one just kind of seems more like just a show, just to say, well, we said that they're not going to do it, but they already wasn't doing it. So it's like a moot point. 6, 7. Moot point. Number 9. And this is the one that people don't understand about, which I have been preaching. Number 9. Pending the final deal, the United States of America and the Islamic Republic of Iran agreed to maintain the status quo. The Islamic Republic of Iran will maintain the current status quo of its nuclear program, and the United States of America will not impose any new sanctions, nor will they deploy any additional forces in the region. This one right here says it all. This is what Democrats, independents, and even certain Republican and MAGA leaders have been preaching. After everything that has gone down, we had service members killed, we had Iranian school children killed, you had their leaders killed. At the end of all of this, number 9, they will agree to maintain the status quo, which means that if we never went to war, we would never have had the Hormuz Strait closed. We would never have had our service members die. This pretty much states exactly what it says. This was all for nothing. Iran never was close to having nuclear weapons. Even our own intelligence agencies said that. Number 10. The United States of America undertakes that immediately upon the signing of this MOU and until the termination of sanctions, the United States Department of Treasury will issue waivers for the export of Iranian crude oil, petroleum products, and derivatives, and also associated services, including banking transactions, insurances, transportations, etc. This one is pretty self-explanatory. The second that they put ink to paper, no more sanctions. They can freely sell their oil. America gets nothing out of this. Pretty much, Iran makes out as a bandit with this. They get to do exactly what they're doing prior to this war. We did. This is a war that didn't have to happen, but it did. And now you got, Iran is going to be able to keep doing what they've been doing. It's like nothing even happened. All right, number 11. The United States of America undertakes to make fully available for the use of frozen or restricted funds and assets of the Islamic Republic of Iran upon the implementation of this MOU. The United States of America and the Islamic Republic of Iran will mutually agree on the procedures related to the release of these funds during negotiations. Such funds, whether retained in the original account or transferred, shall be made fully usable for payment to any ultimate beneficiary designated by the Central Bank of the Islamic Republic of Iran. The United States of America undertakes to issue all necessary licenses and authorizations accordingly. This is another one where Iran just made off like a bandit. They did. Now, any funds that America had restricted or frozen, they get without question. No, nothing. They just get it. And they did not have this ability before the war. Now that they get this MOU and possibly this peace deal, now they're going to get every single bit of money that they wanted or they had frozen, which only enriches Iran in the long run. And don't forget, they already have in this agreement that America will no longer impose any sanctions on them. So if we abide by this MOU, you know, Iran gets richer. Number 13. After signing this MOU and subject to the beginning of the implementation of paragraphs 1, 4, 5, 10, and 11 of this MOU, the continuing implementation of these measures, and the United States of America and the Islamic Republic of Iran will start negotiations regarding the final deal exclusively on the other paragraphs. Number 13. After signing this MOU and subject to the beginning of the implementation of paragraphs 1, 4, 5, 10, and 11 of this MOU, the continuing implementation of these measures, and the United States of America and the Islamic Republic of Iran will start negotiations regarding the final deal exclusively on the other paragraphs. So, number 13, just in plain English, is just stating that, they get everything that they are promised in this MOU without even having to actually do any of the stuff that they promise in here. Everything is just pretty much up to, whether or not they decide that they want to do it. Anywhere it goes, it's already promised that they're going to get it without even having to negotiate the true terms of the nuclear deal or any of the other, things in here that, you assume would have been handled when they first signed this. But all it is that for the next 60 days, Iran got everything that they wanted, and America only settled to agree to everything 60 days down the road. And number 14 is just the final deal will be endorsed by a binding UNSC resolution. Self-explanatory. So that was the whole MOU. Nothing except for what Iran wanted is set in stone. Currently, we have agreed that, they can get their oil, they can get their, monies, their assets and stuff like that. And we also have to remove our servicemen from the proximity of Iran. And we have to do that within 30 days. But any other things that they promise are allowed to be done, 60 days later. And even then, it's not even an actual agreement as of yet, because these are still deals and disputes that have to be handled before they can actually be implemented. So just with my reaction to this is just a terrible deal. Um, I would never glaze any president on my channel, but when it comes to the truth, it's just the truth. Obama's deal was so much more better. Obama had stuff that was mutually agreed upon that actually helped both countries equally. Iran was able to, make sure that they have uranium and other nuclear materials for civilian usage, but they were not allowed to be able to do any kind of nuclear weapons or the like. They even agreed to inspections of their facilities to make sure that, they are complying with the terms of the deal. This MOU currently doesn't even state anything anywhere in there that, they will do any kind of inspections, and outside of maybe, maybe flyovers, maybe satellites or something of that, like, where they're not really being forced to actually implement the promises that they made. And I just don't see where this deal is so much better than what we had before. This deal pretty much makes it so that everything goes back to the status quo. However, Iran, they get all of their money, sanctions are gone. They get their other wishes that, their ally Lebanon is supposed to be left completely alone. And in Lebanon, they have Hezbollah. You know, a lot of this stuff did not need to happen. And I'm sorry that it happened. And to this day, I would never understand what was going through Trump's head when he started this war. But at the end of the day, thank God the war is finally over. And, we can try to bring some of our servicemen back home to the safety of their country. That's, I guess, so to say, all that really matters right now. But thank you for stopping by listening. If you like anything in the video, if you like my reactions, please feel free to, hit like, subscribe, leave a comment if you like it. Other than that, I do post two shorts usually Monday through Friday. So outside of that, peace.